YouTube, what's going on? HeirofCarthage back. Apologize for a couple of days without videos there. It was a combination of a work emergency that came up for my day job, and then traveling to see some family over the weekend here. It was Halloween here, so went and took the kids to see their cousins up at my brother's house, and had a good time. So yeah, I was away and not able to record, but here I am. I'm back, and we're going to jump right back into it. We've got a very fun matchup here with Warriors of Chaos facing off against the Empire. So let's get a quick overview of the battle, and then I'll let you all enjoy this one. Now, the Warriors of Chaos are going to be led by Kholek Suneater and some of his smaller cousins here, the Summoners of Rage. The Empire is going to have a lot of Pistoliers, 4 of them. And this is a pretty dangerous light cavalry contingent for Chaos. Chaos does have good light cavalry options, but they are somewhat susceptible to Pistoliers. Pistoliers will also be somewhat susceptible to the light cavalry of Chaos, so I would say that both have weaknesses to each other. Now, the cavalry for Chaos is a Marauder Horsemaster, a Warhound with Poison, 2 of those, and then a Marauder Horseman with Throwing Axes, and they're going to be up against the 4 Pistoliers. Now, the main line is going to be some Marauders. There's a Mirror Guard, a Marauder with Great Weapon, more Marauders here, and then we've got a Shadow Sorcerer who tried to lay down a pendulum here that was partly dodged by the Sigmar's sons, so nice play. You can see the Sorcerer here just kind of getting into combat early, maybe trying to draw a response from Volkmar or some of the Empire units. Further out on the flank, there are more Marauders, and Marauders with Great Weapons. Chaos is spread very wide on their approach, probably to attempt to not get hit by a ton of missile fire. Now, the Empire has a very a very Volkmar-esque army. Volkmar is on his appropriate pimp wagon. He's got the Sigmar's sons and some spearmen and flagellants to support. He did bring Gotrek. There is a Jade Wizard. And you can see Volkmar is also supported by some Empire Knights here. They actually get a really nice early engagement here against the Summoners of Rage and get quite a bit of damage done. And that may have been partly due to the Pistoliers. Now, the Pistoliers decide to take the melee back here and try and reinforce with Empire Knights and spearmen, so an early melee for the light cavalry of both sides. Be interesting to see how this one turns out. Look at this, a pendulum. Yikes. That shredded through parts of the Empire, but Chaos also took a beating here, so you'll have to best guess here, and then the Banishment actually comes in late and does more damage to the Empire than it does to Chaos. Take a look at what's going on. Kholek is trying to take down the steam tank, as well he should. He is appropriately selected for this task. See him dropping his lightning strike there on the flagellants that are fighting the Mirror Guard. The Mirror Guard, there is no good answer to the Mirror Guard from the Empire in terms of infantry. Volkmar would be your best answer to it, or rear charges from the Empire Knights. See here the Summoners of Rage actually routing away from the fight, and the flank for Chaos now folding in. But the flagellants are going to beat back some of the forces of Chaos, but look at this, Volkmar here, successful in the middle with Sigmar's sons, not terribly surprising. And with Gotrek up here, Kholek can't just sit still and pound on the tank. Gonna have to move on to another target, and he has chosen said target, and it is the Jade Wizard, and that is a good target for Kholek. I'm gonna zoom out so you all can kind of see what's going on the larger scale here. Looks like Volkmar about to do a little bit of support here, yeah, Soulfire, nice damage to the Marauders with Great Weapons. Don't underestimate Soulfire whenever it gets thrown into a blob like that. Some regrouped Warhounds with Poison are going to get taken out here. There's a fair number of Pistoliers left. Some Empire Knights. Look at this, the Chaos Sorcerer now going to go for the steam tank. A bit of a dangerous fight for the Chaos Sorcerer, but he is getting a little bit of damage done against the heavily armored tank. Not a lot. See a Chain Lightning there. This is going to be from the Summoners of Rage. Some damage to the outside of this formation, but not massive damage to the Empire. The Summoners of Rage are going to come back here and try and get a hold of these Pistoliers, and I would like to see the Empire just flee its cavalry away at this point and bide their time for the right engagement. The Summoners of Rage will get shot up quite a bit by Pistoliers, and Kholek is no doubt not going to pursue, well, he's not going to pursue the Pistoliers, but he is going to go for the Empire Knights. He'll take a lot of fire while he's sitting out there. Won't cause tremendous damage to him, but it'll cause damage. He's a big target. He's kind of hard to miss. They always say that you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Well, Kholek is probably larger than the broadside of a barn, and very hittable. Look at that, the Shadow Sorcerer, got routed. Then the Summoners of Rage have come in. See another banishment here that was attempting to take out the Mirror Guard, and it just narrowly misses, doing massive damage to them. So the Mirror Guard getting out of that fight, and that's probably a good idea. The Summoners of Rage are much more well suited to that fight. This is going to be a close one, folks. You can already see a couple of interesting issues that both sides are going to have to face down. Both sides still have some cavalry and light cavalry. And then you've still got Kholek running around, and you still got Volkmar running around, as well as Gotrek. So there are still some very tough to kill units left on the battlefield for both sides. So you can see the steam tank in a little bit of trouble here. It is definitely out of its league when fighting Dragon Ogres and a Shaggoth. And not to mention just a Shaggoth, it's the Shaggoth. So Volkmar is going to come body block that and try and get the tank out of there alive. I don't know if the Jade Wizard survived. I'll take a look at it. Nope, he's gone. I was going to say if the Jade Wizard's still alive, then getting the tank to survive would be huge. Still could be huge because the tank has a lot of ammunition. Another Soulfire here from Volkmar, and you can see it doing a nice little chunk of damage on the Chaos Infantry that's caught up in this fight. The Mirror Guard is elsewhere, which again, for the Empire is bad. And look back here in the back. The Pistoliers are being dealt with by the Marauder Horsemasters and the Horsemen with the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. So the Empire is losing its mobility. That could be a big deal. Kholek is still in decent health. Again, the problem is if Kholek wants to just sit around and pound out Volkmar, which he could, he can't because Gotrek is there, and Gotrek will put an unholy beating on something like Kholek if Kholek were to be held still long enough for him to do it. Gotrek, not a huge threat per se to blobs of infantry, but he will kill a lot of infantry in a blob given the opportunity. There are some infantry blobs that will do better against him than others. You can see Kholek here wanting to charge the steam tank because the steam tank is shooting him. But obviously Kholek not wanting to get tangled up with Gotrek. It's going to be very difficult to defend the steam tank at this point unless it just stays right next to Gotrek, because if it gets singled out, it's not going to take much to kill it. You can see it's already being singled out by the Sorcerer, who apparently didn't learn his lesson earlier. He still wants a piece of that stank. Look at this, Gotrek headed over to this fight, probably to maybe try and ward Kholek out of that fight. We'll see. But yeah, the Volkmar and the steam tank were able to terror out the Chaos Sorcerer. The Warhounds with poison and the Marauders are barely holding onto their leadership. And a nice play here as the Marauder Horsemasters are getting some shots in on the tank, and then Kholek's going to catch it. It's down to its last few hundred hit points here. I'll get up close so you can see this action. I am going to leave the flags and stuff on, though, so you all can keep track of the damage here, since it is a close battle. Try and mix the close-ups and the far-out views here. There were some Empire Knights came back from around. He got a nice charge into the Marauders, and some Pistoliers came back, spent the rest of their ammunition, but now going to be summarily chased off. One unit still has some ammo, but I don't know if it can hold its leadership together. The tank's going to get more opportunities to fire here. This is very bad for Chaos, very good for the Empire. All these shots are really some of the only stuff that's going to be able to kill Kholek. Look, there's a lightning inbound here for the tank, and it got it. It got it. Lightning strikes. Kholek silences the tank. The thunder from the mountains. And you can see Kholek not wanting to stay in this fight because of the presence of Gotrek, and that is a wise decision on his part. So Volkmar could easily get rid of all the remaining units from the Warriors of Chaos except for Kholek. And the Warriors of Chaos could easily get rid of Volkmar, I think, were it not for Gotrek. So they each have a bit of a problem left that they have to deal with. The Mirror Guard is going to provide some very nice hit point sponge in this fight for the Warriors of Chaos because they are heavily armored, shielded, and I do believe that they are immune to psychology. And look at this, the Summoners of Rage coming in for one last charge. I wonder if they're going to get their Chain Lightning ability back, because that could be pretty big. Gotrek, let's see how he's doing in this fight. Let's scroll around so we can see his banner. He's taking a little damage, and you can see Kholek is not committing long-term to these fights because of the presence of Gotrek, and the body blocking from the Mirror Guard is really clutch right now for Kholek. Really clutch. There's some poison Warhounds in here too, and that's actually going to bode very, very poorly for what's left of the Empire because it's going to affect their, I believe, their weapon strength. Oh yeah, look at this. Gotrek getting ganged up on here, and he's taking a bit of a beating here. Gotrek doesn't have armor, and it means the Mirror Guard's actually going to punch pretty well against him because they have decent attack. Oh, look at that, an enfeebling foe too. Yeah, Gotrek's in pretty bad shape. The Warriors of Chaos are making a nice play here in the end of this one. Their Warhounds with Poison are out from the fight. I don't know if that's intentional. I wouldn't want it to be intentional. I'd be using those Warhounds to hold Volkmar down for a beating, and they have effectively dealt with Gotrek here, and it is going to be the Mirror Guard mostly that does this. The Summoners of Rage have helped, but without the body blocking from the Mirror Guard, it's unlikely that Gotrek would have been bested by the Summoners of Rage. And at this point, even though the power bar shows it pretty much dead even, I feel like that Chaos definitely has the advantage here. Volkmar just doesn't punch real heavy against a character like Kholek. He could cause some damage, but there is a lot of other units around here. Now, let's do remember, though, that Volkmar does cause terror. But Chaos has 2 units that should be immune to that, and it's going to be the Mirror Guard and Kholek. Oh, that Soulfire, though, that is punishing, but it still didn't manage to cut through the Mirror Guard here. Gotrek is still alive, if only just. And the Mirror Guard right now is about the best thing possible for the Warriors of Chaos because it's keeping Gotrek busy. The enfeebling foe was also clutch, and Gotrek goes down. He gets what he wants. He dies in combat as a Slayer. Kholek, though, dangerously low on hit points here to 172, but Volkmar now just not able to overcome the whole lot. And folks, that was actually a really, really close ending. Had that Mirror Guard not been there, I'm pretty sure the Empire takes that one home. And that Mirror Guard ended up being kind of the right tool at the right time. And an interesting pick in that sense. Again, it comes heavy with armor, decent non-armor piercing attack with solid melee defense. It made them good against the Empire infantry, and it made them good in that last fight against the terror caused by Volkmar and the steam tank earlier in the battle, right? So it gave Chaos some of that much-needed immunity with a couple of units. Now, Kholek is obviously also immune to terror because he dishes it. When a unit dishes it, it makes them naturally immune to it. However, there is an immune to psychology trait that lives on the Mirror Guard. So, again, just well done by both players here. A fun fight. This one was actually submitted by Zero on my Discord, and I'm assuming that he is Alcazar here Castle playing as the Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, it shows the, I don't know if it's a banner, but I mean, this is the player who submitted it, so I'm assuming that Zero is playing as Castle. And a nice game here from Alcazar with Volkmar. I mean, quite a few kills here, and like I said, this one was really close. The Pistoliers here that got involved in that fight early, it makes me wonder, could that have tipped this thing? Or was that necessary? It may have been necessary. I'm curious what you all think on that one. Some part of me thinks maybe you didn't need to engage them because I kind of feel like Pistoliers could be very good against, not against the Warhounds with Poison. The Warhounds with Poison would definitely be a nuisance for the Pistoliers, but I feel like if the Pistoliers stay fairly close to an Empire Knight, it makes them very difficult for Chaos to deal with because the Empire Knight can body block Warhounds with Poison pretty effectively. And then the Pistoliers are going to be very good at taking shots back at the Marauder Horsemasters and the Marauder Horsemen. The flat line of fire and the fast projectile speed of a gun unit on the horses here, plus the 360-degree firing arc, I feel like makes the Pistoliers a pretty dangerous threat to these units. Again, if I'm wrong, please feel free to chime in. I'm just giving my 2 thoughts on this. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. Appreciate Zero sending it in. It was a fun battle. Again, apologies for being away, but, you know, it is what it is. Things I got to take care of in life. I'm never going to be ditching you all just because I don't like making content. If I'm ever not making content for a couple of days, it's not because I'm burned out or upset or I have to have some kind of break. It's just because either family or work. And those 2 things I know that none of you hold against me whenever they come up. And I'm not sitting here apologizing for it per se or anything else like that. I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. I am apologizing that I couldn't get you the content, but the reasoning is sound, obviously, and I'm sure that you all, like I said, won't hold that against me. You never have. And look forward to being here with some more. Hey, if you want to see more, by the way, make sure you're subscribed. There, you can go click the subscribe button if you want to be notified. YouTube has that goofy bell that we don't like, but you can click it if you do like that kind of thing. And as always, if you want to support the channel, there's a couple great ways to do it. If you like the video, click the like button. If you disliked the video, click the dislike button. But beyond just clicking the dislike, go in the comments and tell me what I should be doing better. And further, if you'd like to comment something about the battle, what you think someone should have done differently, what you'd like to see from me, please feel free to use the comments. All those things support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, just takes a few moments of your time. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to see you with some more content soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out.